All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Today we have Derek, aka the Dopest Detailer. It's going to be a good one, packed full of information, so stay tuned.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You got Sal and Joel with details. Today we got a special guest, Derek, the Dopest Detailer. Hey Derek, and thanks for joining us. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
First of all, I want to thank Sal and Joel for having me on this podcast with you guys. This channel. It's been a pleasure watching you guys. Again, like you said, I am Derek, the Dopest Detailer out of Philadelphia. I service the Philadelphia, Southern New Jersey, Delaware area. I go as far as New York, Washington. So I really, I'm serious about the whole mobile aspect of this game, man. I'm all over with it. So I get in my wheels and I move out. I spin wheels all day long. So 20 years in the game, just trying to add a little bit more to the community, seeing where I can fit in and help as much as I possibly can, not a know-it-all, but been through enough so that I can contribute something. It's just been a pleasure on this 20-year journey of mine to detailing. And like I said, if I'm not willing to teach somebody after everything that I've been through and all the things that I've learned, ups and downs, it would have been in vain. It wouldn't really matter. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not that type of person. So I just try to spread as much information and education and get people to understand that this is about dedication and motivation. If you got all of those components together, you're destined to be successful in this business, So that's pretty much what I'm bringing to the table, man. So it's on and popping now. What's up? Talk to me.
Nice.
So just talking about how we crossed paths, right? Scrolling through YouTube, trying to kind of get up on any new information, anything that we could always study. Came across your page. I seen your video on the setup, and I was liking what I was hearing. I was digging all the wisdom, I was entertained. So we like to see that stuff, right? Fun. And so the next day I said, hey, bro, you gotta check this guy out. This guy is dope. I was like, by the way, he's called the Dopest. that's his handle.
I was like, all right, I gotta give this guy a shot with a name like that. I was like,
let me say this real quick. In regards to the Dopest Detailer, it's crazy how that even came to be. I look at my life in detailing, it's full circle. Everything has come full circle for me, man. A little bit more backstory about me. I'm from the streets. Been in the streets, been to prison, did it all, you know what I mean? I did a lot of time in jail, man, from being in the streets, hustling, doing the things that I used to do. So it's just ironic that now I went from dope slinging to dope detailing, from dealing dope to detailing the dopest wheels. So that just, all those things just kept resonating with me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm like, damn, I'm out here really detailing some dope behind vehicles. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing some dope work out here. And it's like, man, you do understand that slinging dope is what brought you here. Slinging dope took you to prison.
Yeah.
And then prison, after getting reformed and getting my life together, you know what I mean? It all brought me back to this place. And I'm like, wow, look at how all of that works. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was only befitting that I took a negative and made it into a positive. You know what I mean? Like something that could have ended my life really gave me life. Yeah. When I found the true, the truth in it, the true meaning of what my life was about, what my life's calling is. And who would ever thought that, the things that I used to put my life on the line for, such as, trying to, buy the nice cars and have the nice jewelry and have the nice cars, have the nice clothes and all of that stuff, would eventually bring me to a place where, I can obtain all those things now by just doing what I do. You know what I mean? Like I never thought it would have went this way. So it's more than just the detailing part of it. It's so many different aspects to this, man. And that's why I try to bring a different flavor to the community. I learn every day. I'm not the I'm good at what I do. You know, there are a lot of people out there that I learn a lot from. Listen, I've only been watching you guys for a short period of time, but I picked up some things off of y'all. You know, you guys, you caught my attention, seeing where I caught your attention. You know why? Because I'm not at a place in my life where I'm not still learning. I'm not making myself available to learn from people such as yourself. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what gives me the drive and the motivation. I know the energy and the message that I bring to the table is, you know, it's unorthodox, it's non-traditional, it's not what we're used to hearing, but I try to keep it as raw as possible. You know what I mean? Like, listen, man.
That's why we love it.
Yeah. We're real dudes, man. We don't like to sugarcoat things. We're gonna tell you the truth, whether it be hard, easy, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Right.
We give it to you the real way. So you know,
right.
It's
and
all
like you guys, you guys don't come across as too technical where you're intimidating people. You're coming across just on a real, down to earth level. You know, and I think a lot of that's going on in the community. A lot of people are intimidated by one another, so they're not willing to reach out to one another. It's almost like, you know, people need to get out of this, you know, we're competitors mentality. You know, you're not my competition. You know what I mean? Like I said the other day in one of the messages that I put out, you're not my competition. You're actually one of my comrades. You know what I mean? You know, somebody I can speak to. Your connection, your comrade. You know, we're in this together. You know what I mean? So there's so much I can learn from you, so much you can learn from me, so much we can learn from so many other people. You know, that's what this is about for me. That's what YouTube is about for me, just because I know YouTube has a bigger reach. You understand what I'm saying? It has a bigger reach. And I like dealing with strangers. I like talking to strangers. I like getting to know different people. You understand what I'm saying? It's easier for me to talk to a stranger than it is for me to talk to people that I know, because strangers don't judge me and I will never judge a stranger. You know, it's easier to motivate a stranger, you know, because it's like, listen, man, I don't know you. I don't want nothing from you. I want everything for you. I don't know you. I just want to see you do better. I want to see you grow. I want to see your business expand. And that's what it's about for me. You know,
I think that was one of the reasons. Yeah, that was one of the reasons we reached out, because there was a lot of education in there. And that, for us, we're on the same wavelength as far as, you know, we see a lot of people, because we've all been through the same things, like, to get to where we are. You know, the past is the past, but we all made a decision somewhere down the line to say, hey, look, I want to start doing this for my career, for my income, for my family, to better myself, for self-improvement, for discipline, whatever it is. We all took that jump and that leap, and we all made that sacrifice. So when you have other people in a community around you to support you, because you may not have a family member that could support you, may not have, you know, your loved ones, your significant others, you may not have people that understand what you're doing, but by the community of the right people, and let me stress that, the right people, you can learn a lot. You can have comrades, people around you to support you when things get rough, to encourage you, to give you all of the, you know, the mental part of it, a little bit more mental strength there than maybe you have, because you're going to push yourself to limits that you haven't seen yourself go to before. So you're down and out. You're going to be drained. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be physically tired. You're going to be mentally feeling like you're breaking down at some points, but that's just you growing. That's a part of it. And people don't understand that. People want the golden ticket. It doesn't work that way. Like, the closest thing to a golden ticket is listening to conversations like this, because these are people who have been through it all, and that can kind of tell you this is how it needs to be done if you want to get from here to here, at least in a faster way. You figure out how you do it on your own, your style, but this is going to be kind of a blueprint.
Yeah, I mean, through this process, you know, especially with the newer guys that are coming into the business, newer guys and girls that are coming into the business, you know, they got to understand that there is going to be trial and error. My thing is, I try to do as much as I can to dispel the myth of instant gratification, instant gratitude. Nothing is instant here. Nothing is instant here. Some days you'll have the best days you ever had in this business, and then you'll go 30 days with nothing. And then you'll be questioning yourself, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I can't do this no more. You know, like you said, this is a roller coaster ride. There's so many ups and downs, so many peaks and valleys, you know, so many bright days, so many dark days that people have to prepare themselves for, because, you know, and it's easy to get caught up in this business. You know, it's so easy to get caught up because, like I said, the money is so good. Sometimes you get blinded by exactly what it is that you're supposed to maintain your focus on, because you're this money is coming in and you're making it, and it's like it's going to forever be like that. It's not, you know, like you know, I just emailed you from my real email, and that email is stepping stone. That's my life motto. Everything in this life is a stepping stone for me. You know, detail served as a stepping stone for me. I've been doing it for 20 years, and it has elevated me and put me in places that I've never in a million years thought I would ever be. You know, it has made me be a part of conversations that I've never thought I would be a part of. You know, look at me. I'm talking to somebody in California right now. I'm in New Jersey, you know, and we're just having a conversation like we've known each other forever. You know, this is what the community should be about. We should all be able to connect like this. We should all be able to get on a Zoom or whatever and just have a conversation, exchange ideals, and just motivate one another. You guys have motivated me, and I was, like I said, I'm honored to be about this, to be a part of this here conversation, because I was motivated and you know, I appreciated what you guys are putting out into the universe. That's it. You know, that's what it comes down to. But again, like my point was, you know, guys and girls have to be willing to go through those ups and downs. They have to be willing to put in that time and continue to educate themselves, you know, ask questions, you know, reach out, you know what I mean? Reach out, you know, and to the people who are being sought by other young detailers, make yourself available. Don't take yourself so serious that, you know, you can't, no, I don't want to talk to this person. No, I ain't got time for this. Come on, man. Like, this is a community.
That's a big one.
That's a very big one, bro.
That's a big one out there. Know, and you see it across everything. You know, there's sometimes, and for the person on the giving end, I think a lot of the times they don't see the value in it, but do it one time. I challenge anybody out there who's watching, who maybe has some kind of clout or notoriety in their area with whatever their expertise is, reach out and mentor somebody. Just help somebody get through a problem or something, and see how rewarding it is. It'll change your life, man.
I'll do you one better than that. I'll make that challenge even easier. Just answer that inbox that person took the time to send to you. Yeah. Respond to it. How about that? Let's start there. Like, you don't have to go out and find anybody. I can guarantee you all of us has that one person in our inbox that just reached out and say, hey, man, I know you're busy and you probably don't have time to talk to me, but I was just wondering if you can tell me about X, Y, and Z. Man, look, tell the person about X, Y, and Z. It'll make you feel better. It'll do so much for that individual's morale, you know, because that's just that's what people need. You understand? Like, that person might just be at that point where it's like, man, I'm about to just sell my rig and everything. I'm done with it. You know what I mean? But if they don't have anybody that they can reach out to and have a conversation with, like we do, you know, then, you know, you might just be a part of somebody ending their career, where you should be a part of them growing their career. So it's just about going that inbox and answer that message that you've been having sitting in there for weeks that you never replied to. You know, when we connected, boom, just like that. It ain't, you know, I don't play that game. Like, I don't look at myself as anything bigger than anybody out there. You know, now when somebody, the truth of the matter is, I have sneakers that's older than some of these guys, the years they've been inside this game. But what does that mean? You know what I mean? What that means is, you know, I just been around a while, but that doesn't mean I'm better than them. I can help them and I can learn from them. So, you know, that's what it's about for me, man. You know, that's just what it comes down to for me. So
that energy and that understanding and that just that human aspect of it, not even business. It's just that human aspect. It's like, yo, just be kind to the people around you, or the people that are trying to communicate with you, that are trying to, obviously they see something or they're looking up to you in some form or fashion. All you're doing is bringing your credibility down when you become somebody who's rude, or you don't want to develop a reputation for your business or yourself to be that person who, oh, he doesn't respond to this. I try to respond to everybody. If you look at my YouTube channel, like I try to respond to everything. And if I like something, I'm gonna like it. You know, Sal even jump in here and there, but we're busy, but still we need to understand, okay, a lot of this success is coming from people that support us.
Right. And you know what? The other thing with that, Joel, is that I don't see, I like your page, for instance, you guys' page, it isn't a look at me page. It isn't, oh, look at me, look what I'm doing page. You know, it's one of those, it's really a genuine educational page that's really trying to, lead down a path of success. You know, information is key. You can never get enough of it. You know, there's a lot of information out there. You just need to know, pay attention to who you're listening to and your purpose for listening to them. Are you fascinated by what they're doing, or do you just have an appreciation for the way they show up and get it done? You know, there's a difference. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to be fascinated by me. I didn't come here to be fascinated. I came here to try and help, try to add my little bit to this big pot. It's a big pot, man. You know what I mean? Like for years, YouTube has been getting a real bad rap where they're, oh, you're a YouTube detailer, you're this. And I'm like, why do you call people that, man? Like, if that's where people are getting their information from, that's where they're getting their information from.
Yeah.
And now
it's just
I'm
another form of information. Yeah.
Right. And now I'm here giving up information. I would hope that the information, I would hope that the information that I'm getting, that I'm giving out isn't being looked down on, like, oh, that's just YouTube. That's just a YouTube guy on there.
Like, you guys know about detailers versus YouTube.
Yeah, we're like, well, we're detailers on YouTube. Like, I understand what they're trying to say, but now it's kind of at the point where it's like,
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, this form of media now, it's kind of like there's good, bad, and then there's the scams. It's all in the same thing. You know what I mean? So,
but is it any worse than the pageantry that's on Instagram?
No.
That's a pageantry. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just like all facade.
It's a pageantry. You know what I mean? So I mean, for real, man. Like, everything I say to somebody, man, like, I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. Like, yo, you really gotta watch what you're doing out here. Like, don't complicate this.
Yeah, this
is not a complicated situation. Like, I came to this thing, man, like, I was depressed, I was stressed out, I was broke, I was lost, I was everything you can imagine, man, when I came to this game, man. And this game has fulfilled me in so many ways, man. Like, I feel good about spreading positive energy to people. Now, mind you, there's always gonna be some trolls out there. You're gonna get some trolls, man. And if I could tell anybody that's listening to us right now, don't let that stuff discourage you, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can't control what somebody says, but you can control how you react to it.
Yeah.
You know, the
trolls haters everywhere,
man. There's haters everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, that's just gonna happen. You know, so, what's your take on that, Sal? Because it looked like you got something to say about that.
Hey, only a fool trips on what's behind them.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So we ain't worried about, we're not worried about all that other stuff. Like us, and that's one of the things that keeps us moving. That people tell us every day when we get on our Instagram, because I show on my Instagram lives, I'll show people if they have a question, hey, how do you do this? Say, well, I'm on live right now. Let me show you. So I'll bust out my or whatever, and I'll show them. This is so they're not. No, there ain't no games being played here. This is
right.
And if I can't get it out, I'm like, look, it just ain't happening today. Sometimes this is what happens. We're in a real world situation. This is what's gonna happen. So
right.
It's we get things all the time where people people are hating or they're saying stuff that's just negative energy and stuff. But it's just like, yo,
Right.
let that go. Like me and Sal, every day we're working so hard, and people are always like, how do you guys stay busy? Because we're not worried about anybody else. We're not worried about what other people, what we're worried about? We're worried about our client relations. We're worried about work. We're worried about all of the business aspects of it, in the polishing up of everything, and the refining and the constant refinement of our business overall.
Right.
That's what we're worried about.
It's like when people ask me, how like what you just now said, I can't get past that, because it's like the number one question that I get. People say, how can I get more business? How can
That's
I
number
be
one
more
answer.
busy? How can I be more busier? And the main thing I tell people is, the way you become more busier is stop worrying about the business you see somebody else get.
Yes.
Because that's what's making you feel like you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
That's what's making, when somebody gets on and say, oh, I'm booked out for 3 months. I ain't never been booked out for 3 months. I'm in this business for 20 years. I ain't never been booked out for 3 months. Okay. If somebody's booked out for 3 months, God bless them. But I don't care. The thing is, I don't care if somebody else is booked out. I'm busy enough for me, you know. And,
you wouldn't be able to handle that. That would actually be bad for most people's business to be booked out.
Watch what you ask for.
If you're a one-man show and you got 3 months of business, you got problems. You got problems.
Yes, you do.
Those sound like problems to me.
Yeah, you got
and
problems,
most of these
man.
people,
So,
and the crazy thing, Derek, is most of these people that want all these clients, they're not ready for it. I'm like, you are not.
Yeah, and I said that before.
You're gonna come and do some work that you don't even know how to do. But you got your 3 months of booked clients because you threw that ad out there. Now all you're doing is messing up your reputation, because now you have clients. You don't know how to schedule properly. You don't know how to manage your time. None of that is in place. But
all that
customers. What good is that? As soon as
you
go with the appointment, he goes to tell all his friends about how bad of a job you did.
Right. Listen, everybody wants more business until they get 10 different calls in one day to come out and do a car. From 10 different people. Everybody want to be busy up until that point. When that happens, then you got to sit back and say to yourself, am I really ready for that?
Yeah.
Like, am I really ready for that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you got to ask yourself, say, man, look, am I busy enough for me? You know what I mean? Like, am I busy enough? Do I know enough for myself to get this done? You know what I mean? Like, if once you get to that point, everything else falls into place. This is not an instant situation, man. Look, it's just not. Yeah. You know what I mean? You'll be busy. You'll go out and work your hours that you work, and to somebody you're very busy. Yeah. Now the thing is, are you grateful for what you have? Most aren't. Yeah. And that's where they feel like, I need more. Yeah. Listen, man, you or your company couldn't do all the cars in your neighborhood by yourself if you tried. It's more than you can imagine. We're not running. Detailing isn't a car wash. This isn't about volumes. This is about quantity. When I hear people telling me they did 8 details in a day,
that hurts. That hurts my back.
I'm like, man, how do you, who, like, oh, all right, okay. If that's what you do, that's what you do. Now, if you have a company and you have all these people working for you, I mean, you already know I'm anti-employee, man. I'm a solo dolo. Yo,
yes,
dude.
sir.
Hey, all the people that have been in the game for long enough, all the people that, like we use all P&S stuff. We were talking around.
Right.
He says small is good. He said very small is better.
Yeah, Ohead told me. He said, keep it small, keep it all. I'm like,
I like that one. I like that
and
one.
it's crazy because it's like, man, I never want to come. Like I said, if anybody's trying to scale their business and they have the right team, remember, team is everything. If you have the right team and you want to scale it, by all means, do it. And if I can give you some information on that, do it. I've had 20 people working for me at one time.
Yeah.
At one time.
Stressful days then.
Bro, listen, I don't have to take blood pressure medicine no more. I was on blood pressure meds, man.
That's why we got out of that
crazy.
We managed.
I'm like,
he managed for 20 years. I managed for a little over 20 years. I said, I'm done with it. I said,
I can't do it.
I was like, I'm gonna have a stroke if I keep doing this. In my I was like, this all is great. This is all employees.
Bro,
it's all employees.
So I tell them, I say, and I say, you know, when you sit down and you actually do the math, because this is a numbers game too, as much as it is about, you know, the physicality and being able to get out there and get the work done, it's about the numbers. And in order for the numbers to make dollars, they got to make sense. If it don't make sense, it ain't gonna make dollars. If you really sit down and you do the math to this high volume that you're doing, and then you ask yourself all of the things that you're sacrificing for that extra couple bucks.
Just the time, the headache,
is it worth it?
No,
it's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Just the communication, just the daily communication you have to keep up with for the people calling in, or the people that need time off, or the people that have issues going on, or
everything, bro.
Or the discrepancies or any kind of.
When do you not have an issue with
bro? That's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother
video.
That list is so long.
I think they got the point now. Hey, people watch that. I think you got the point. You're thinking about those employees. You may want to think again.
Bro, man, listen, you man, that's a whole nother conversation, bro. Like, that'll break your back. Like, you just trying to figure that part out. Like, man, how do I even keep up?
And if you don't have experience,
I mean, there was a time.
We have experience in it, but
right.
I see some of these cats out there with no experience saying, "Oh, I'm getting another van. I'm gonna get another employment." I'm like, I gotta turn the videos off. I get stressed out because I'm like, nope, I don't even see that.
Yeah, I don't even want to
near that.
I don't want no parts of that, because it's like your eye. You remember our parents used to tell us when we were smaller, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Like, you want to eat everything that you see, and then you get sick.
Oh yeah,
because you thought you could eat it all because it looked good, and you're not pacing yourself. You got guys that are like, oh man, I'm about to do this. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. Ambitious is good. There's nothing wrong with being a hustler. Being a hustler is good, but you have to have business. You have to be business conscious. You have to have a business mind, and you have to understand. Like I said, there was a time when I had 20 guys working for me. When I was done working, at the end of the day, here's the things that I used to deal with, to the guys that are listening to this. I need to touch bases on this real quick. There were times when I would get home and I figured out that I needed to sit in my car for an hour before I walked in my house.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't taking that energy into my home. I wasn't, and it was usually on a Friday after I paid everybody and I only had $50 left.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So, what I thought I was doing all week long, the yelling, the trying to get the people to follow, trying to get them to, and I'm not a boss type of person. I try to lead people. I try to teach people. I'm not a bossy type of person. If I tell somebody to do something, it's only because I'll do it myself. I know how to do it. So
that takes a lot more energy also than just the boss, because now you're putting everything you have into that.
Right.
And that's a lot. People don't realize if you love something and you're trying to really train somebody and show them and develop somebody, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of mental capacity that just gets depleted throughout the day. On top of a physical job, I don't even want to think about it.
When the employees leave, your day just started.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now you really got to do business.
Now you really got to handle your business. You know what I mean? Like, I've had that situation, man, where, like I said, I got to sit out in front of my house for an hour because I just didn't want to take that energy inside my house. Yeah. And that was before I knew better. Well, that was after I figured it out. You know what I mean? Because before that, I'll just go in the house and start fighting with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Just not fighting, but I'll take the energy. I'll take the negative energy into my house, and now it's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to handle myself. And these are conversations. These are the bits and pieces that I like to touch back on when I make my videos and put them out there, because this is real life stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, this stuff is going to happen. Your wife, your significant other, whatever your situation is, they're going to want you to show up to birthday parties. They're going to want you to show up to dinner. They're going to want you to go to weddings. They're going to want to do things on Sunday. Like, they're going to want to do things that you are not going to be in a position to do because you're so screwed up. over the business.
Yeah.
Set your business up right, and you can enjoy life. You should be able to enjoy life and do this. If you're not able to enjoy a certain quality of life and do this, you're doing something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Because on an average day, all of us can go out and make more money than a person hitting a 9 to 5 clock if we do it right.
Oh yeah. And that's all we're trying to do is tell, like, people are making it way harder than they need to be. I have a couple questions for you, Derek, since
Sure.
you still have a shop setting? You still have a shop?
I still have a shop setting. Yeah.
So you have a shop and you have mobile. This is always one of those things that people are always asking us. When are you going to get a shop, Joel? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? For us, and I don't know if you've seen in our previous videos where we kind of talk about it, it's like we haven't even tapped full potential of one van. So there's no need for us to get a shop or get a second van. We're still doing things and still growing and make, as far as, profitability, we're still growing like week to week. So if I doubled up on a van, you're talking splitting expenses, multiplying expenses, and then, a whole nother realm of problems when Sal's not even, I would say Sal's probably about 85-90% trained there. But I see people where they get a couple weeks booked out and they're like, oh, I got to get another van because we're getting too busy, or I got to get a shop so I can do more ceramic coatings, or I can do this, or I can work on rainy days. What do you say to those guys that are in that position where their business is probably, it takes a couple of years to really get things moving, where you're like, all right, I feel good. I'm paying my bills. Like, I'm not sweating money so much. Things are working out. I'm living comfortable. What do you say to people like that?
Well, what I say to that is that's just a learning curve. That's just something they're going to have to, like, no matter what you tell somebody, if they're dead set on doing that, that's what they're going to do. And it's unfortunate that that's the way that people think. It's almost like if I tell you, don't do this because I've already done it and I know the pains that come with that, most people will say, well, you're only telling me that because you're hating on me or you don't want me to do it. No, I'm trying to tell you that because I'm trying to protect you from what I went through. Well, I'm not you. I can go out and tell 1 million kids on the streets and listen, I am in my neighborhood and I push for it. I live in Philadelphia, one of the most dangerous cities in the world right now. 13 and a 15-year-old got their head blown off last night out here going to school. And what I'll say to that is this: I can go out and tell as many young cats to get off the corners, don't hustle, leave that stuff alone. But they know where I came from. And to them, it's like, well, you did it. You can't tell me I can't do it. But to answer your question, so do I have a shop? I don't have a shop. I have space. And the reason why I have space, I did a subcontract with the landlord, the owner of the building. He's actually one of my clients. So he had some extra space. He let me sublease out a piece of that space. They're barely ever here. And when they're here, I'm not here. So we don't run into each other. I put a tent inside of the space that I am in. And the reason why I got the space is because, yes, when I'm out on the streets and I'm doing my mobile thing, which is 95.9% of my business. When I want to sell a ceramic coating, I don't believe in the 1 hour ceramic coating on the streets. Like, that just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
If I'm going to coat your car, I'm going to have it for 24 hours minimum.
Yeah.
It's just me. Okay. So I have a space where I can bring that car to and I have a tent, like a built-in tent inside of the facility, or in its minds that I can pull that car into. Is a clean space where I can do the job the right way. If I have somebody that wants, like if I have a crazy situation on my hand when it comes to a detail, and I know that this is going to take some time and it's going to cost some money, and that client is willing to spend that money, 9 times out of 10, that car is going to have to come back to my space. More times than often, whatever I'm going to charge them to do that car is going to cover my rent in here because it's just that severe. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm not doing a Lamborghini or Ferrari or or whatever else I'm out on the streets doing, you know, when I get into a situation where I have to book something and it's going to take a while, then I'll bring it here. But I don't advertise from here for foot traffic or like this. The expense here is one day's work. Yeah. So it's really no sweat on, and that's not me bragging or anything.
Oh no, it's just you having your stuff in order. Like you did it
right. Yeah,
yeah. Strategically like to where it works for your business. There's no point.
It works for my. It's
going to cost you more money. If it's costing you 40% of your income for the month, that makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's like you know. I would never advise anybody to go out and get a car that they got to get this big rig set up. They got to pay a crazy car note on. You're just adding more expenses to what you're doing. I mean, the name of the game is earning, not giving it away. And I always tell people, you know, save money is earned money. Figure out a way to save money and you'll be earning money every day, even if you don't go work. If you figure out a way to save some money, save on the back end of what it is that you're doing, you've earned. If you're saving money for your business, you're earning money for your business. But if you're just blowing money, nobody wins. You lose, the business lose. So yeah, I have a space and I have a space because I'm on the East Coast. It gets cold out here. My business goes all year round. My clients still want their cars done. I don't have a sign outside. I don't have any frontage. All of it's word of mouth. And it's what I upsell while I'm working. I know how to talk. I know how to upsell. So I upsell something, say, hey, listen, this is what you need. I can't do this today and I can't do it out on the streets. Why don't you go ahead and book it, drop it off at my shop. And I do all the work myself. So it's like I schedule it in a way where it works for me. You understand what I'm saying? So
I think that's a lot of guys' issue is they don't know how to communicate like that. They're people are like, oh, I could never talk to my client like that. They'll like, you know, thinking, oh, it's going to be rude or disrespectful to tell them I can't do. They just don't want to say no at all. It's like there's no problem. No, if you have an option behind it. You know, I learned that.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that this is the way it has to go. You're coming to me from my level of expertise for what I do, and I'm telling you this is the way it is. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Exactly.
It's not what you eat, it's how you serve it. How do you serve this to your people? How do you speak to your people? You know, if you don't know how to speak to your people in a way that's convincing, then that's something that's all into you. If you're going into a situation already feeling like this person is hard to talk to, or I know that this person isn't going to go for this, then you're in the wrong business because you need to be able to communicate. This is about communication.
Yeah.
This business is, and that's what scares me the most about having somebody work with me. The last person, and I never ever said this on YouTube, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm going to say it right now. The last person that I had working with me, my partner, like you guys are sitting here right now, was a childhood friend, was like a brother to me. I'm talking a 40-year friendship, little kids. We got pictures together when we were babies, man. And he died from COVID. So when he passed away, it was like, I could never replace him. Knowing that I never would want to, but I would never even feel comfortable having somebody in my space like that.
Yeah.
Because when he was here, it was like, I'm sure you guys can relate to this. We were like Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah.
It was like this dude knew my right.
Whatever's lacking, he got. Whatever. It's just like there's no stopping.
There's no stopping. Like we always right. We always were of the mindset that, you know, the vehicle is big enough for us to never run into one another, and for nobody to ever be standing around looking at the other one work. Yep. We understood that, and as long as we understood that and we stayed on top of that, we stayed busy. We cranked them out. Now, did I give it a try? He passed away March 27th, 2000, on my daughter's birthday. And it's been 2 years last week that he's been gone. I might have gave it a shot with, you know, up until that point before, you know, again, childhood friend. He did 14 years in prison, federal prison. Came home. He was home for 5 years. He worked with me every day for 5 years. I helped him start his own business, got him going. He was a productive member of society, did everything. Prior to him coming home, I worked with people. I had my ups and downs, and then I just cut people out. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When he came home, I gave him that shot every day, balls to the wall, every day, busting him down. When he passed away, I tried to do it with other people, but it just didn't happen. And it wasn't because I had already came into the situation feeling like this ain't going to work with you, because I give everybody a fair shake. But I knew that what my brother brought to the table, it was never going to be, duplicated. So I was just better off just being as I am,
Yeah. And sometimes that makes more sense for the business than you going through all these headaches. And if you know already, like, look, it's not good. Like Sal, to me, and I'm sure vice versa, there's some things that are irreplaceable, like where I wouldn't be able to do certain things with this business or scale to the level that we have without that right hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's things that I just pick. Like now, when we go to jobs and stuff, Sal drives. That leaves me open. I'm like this the whole time.
Right.
Clients,
right.
That in itself, that productivity, man, that's a changer, because that's saving me an hour or 2 hours that I'd be doing that at home later on.
Right. And then the other thing, Joel, when you were saying about maximizing the potentials of one vehicle, you know how hard it is to do that? Like, that's not the easiest thing to do. And people have this weird belief that maximization, and I just made that word up, maximization of a vehicle is being able to do, let's say, 10 cars a week, 10 details a week. That's not maximizing that vehicle.
No.
It's not. That vehicle has so much more potential. There are guys running around. You can't even, these guys running around, man, they don't even have a sign on their vehicle and talking about, I want to open a shop. Man, you don't even have a sign on your vehicle. You don't even have work uniforms. You don't have work etiquettes. You don't have standard procedures. You don't have all of this stuff laid out.
Oh, he cut off.
Oh.
All right. Hold
on. Okay, so what I mean is guys don't even have uniforms and they're not well set up to even run the van, automatically think I need to get a shot. No, you need to, I think if you're mobile, you should be in a van, and it's just my opinion, at least 3 years. At least 3 years before you even consider getting into a full. Now, that's not to say that you there. That's not to say that you can't sublease some spots out, because you got to remember, a lease is a commitment.
Oh yes,
that's a commitment. And no, you shouldn't be afraid of commitments. But why are you taking on more than you need?
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys have shops, because it looks cool to do. No, and I've seen so many people fall flat on their face with thinking that it was just that simple. I'm gonna go get a shop. You're not that busy. You're not that busy. And a lot of things, like let me just say this, guys, being busy doesn't mean you're being productive. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're being productive. Are you productive? Okay. Are you producing something from all of the labor that you're putting in? That's what that is. You can be busy. Being busy is the action. Being productive is the consequence. Like this is the result of your busyness. So it's busy, productive. Are you being productive? You put 8 hours of work in, or is that 8 hours? Can I see that in a way that says, okay, the value equals the work?
Yeah.
So you got to be, just because you're busy and you got a bunch of stuff going on, your phone is ringing like crazy. How much of that is really being productive? So, that's just my take on that. So yeah,
there's a lot out there where I see people kind of running around with their heads, all over the place. They're not organized. They have no efficiencies in place. There's no standard operating procedure. So without those, people don't realize it's never going to equate to one another. Like you were saying, the labor is never going to equal out to the productivity that you're producing, because you're not doing it properly. You're doing it inefficiently. You might be losing money doing things the way that you're the way that you're doing it currently. So that's another big one. And those are all business practices that you have to learn over time, or take classes or something. But if I'm seeing people, they're just like, I can't even get my, get a SOP together. It's like,
right.
How an employee, If you don't have
Right.
you should not have an employee. You should not, because that employee will never be trained properly if you do not. But I'm seeing it happen all the time. All the time.
It's like the guy that has the van that doesn't keep it in order and hire and bring somebody on. Well, the guy
expect them to
keep the van right, and he's like, we're just throwing towels around out here, right? Oh, okay, cool. We're just hanging towels up on the back of the van, right? That's what we're doing. We're bolting them up, throwing them in the corner, because that's the environment that you're bringing that individual into. You don't have you don't have SOPs, lined up. Your thing isn't as tight as it's supposed to be, and people think you got to be like this big crazy company to think corporate, to think
that's a big misconception. Like
it's like, like you'll let your guys come on to your job. I remember I used to have guys come and work with me, and they'll be saying stuff like, when I used to have a real job, and I'm like, what? When you used to have a real job, this is a real job. Like your paycheck that you're going to get at the end of the week is going to be real. So I need you to respect it as real money. Real money. You got guys that they talk like that because they don't see the value in, like, a lot of people look at this as just a hustle. And you know why? Because a lot of people run it like a hustle.
Right. Well, because a lot of them are hustlers. A lot of them are cats from the streets. A lot of them are just, they were down and out, or they got fired from their job. And this was just kind of like a secondhand thing. I saw somebody on YouTube make $1,000 a day. I could wash a car. You know, it's kind of
and a hustler is the guy. Look, here's the thing. I'm blessed to be a hustler and a businessman. I understand that there's a difference between the two. My hustle has everything to do about me being able to go out. And when I used to want to work till 1 o'clock in the morning and do all of that stuff, that was just a hustle mentality in me. But the businessman in me says, listen, there's so many other ways you can do that and be much more accomplished if you just think it through. You know what I mean? And with the hustle now, it's like people just want to grab the money and run for today. I'm looking longevity. Like that's why I can still deal with people I have clients with me that have been with me for 20 years, bro. From the time I started, if they're not dead, old people, most of them are still with me. And the other part is that I can look at all the clients that I have now, and I can draw a tree, and they'll all come back to this one situation.
That's what I was telling Sal. I was like, because there's certain clients that we do certain things for. Say, look, this client right here, we're big hip hop guys. So
right.
I draw if I draw a tree and I tell them, I say, look, this is the easy E of my business. That means this one started almost all of it. You know what I mean?
Because now
came out of this. Eminem came out of this. Yeah. The Game came out of this. Bone Thugs and like it's like that. And I have out 5-6 different seeds that have made these trees that have just, and I can connect it back 4 or 5 branches. Like, this stems from this to this to this to this. And now he's getting it. Now he gets familiar. I'm like, this, you place a value on those clients, how much they are bringing to you and how valuable they are to you. And you need to treat them as such because they are part of your success, your business.
Right.
Oh,
that has everything to do with people coming and saying, how do I get more business? Focus on the one seed that you planted.
You have.
And you already have everything you need. If you have a seed in the ground, you have a tree that you have roots that you can go and you can see where your growth is at. Because those roots are going to grow into a tree that's going to have branches. And they're going to have little flowers and they're going to have little things going on. You have everything that you need, but you're so focused on thinking you need a forest when all you really need is one tree that has many roots. That's going to take you in many different directions. That's going to be the nucleus to it all. Like you said, without Easy, there'd be no Dre. Without Dre, there'd be no 50. Without 50, without M, all of that stuff. You couldn't make it any clearer than that.
Yeah.
Easy that's it.
Yeah.
There was somebody before him, but that's where we starting at. You understand what I'm saying? So, that's what makes all the sense in the world, man. So,
So that's what we try to really tell these guys out there where, they want to get in, they want to jump into detailing. They want to spend all this money on ads. They want to spend all this money on marketing. I say, look, just get yourself a couple clients and blow them away. Whatever your first client, blow every client out the water when you get that opportunity. Pretend like it's life or death for you. And you just perform and you let them talk. You let them do your marketing and they will tell other friends. And it's hard when you become a business owner, you realize how hard it is to make a recommendation to somebody. I don't recommend anything. I don't recommend anything unless I know it is 100% legit because they come back to me if it's not. So the things that I recommend, like we share the same gardener, we share the same guy that comes and picks up, that does the trash hauling. There's people that we mess with because we know they do their job right. And when they ask us, do you know somebody who does this? we're going to tell them the person that we know we can count on every single time, who's professional, who communicates, who's not going to let us down, who's not going to make our name bad. So when we have clients telling us that, oh, I told my sister, my brother, or they don't even let us know, they just say, oh yeah, we go to the job and they say, oh yeah, so-and-so is my brother, he told me about you. Then the next week, somebody else comes, oh yeah, you did so-and-so's car, they told me about this. That's not, that is,
you know what that is? You know
highest
what that is?
form.
Jay, you know what that is? That's
What's
called
that?
organic growth.
It is.
That's organic growth. There's no filters there. That's keeping it simple. That's me doing right by you and you telling somebody he did right by me. Now they want to give it a try. That's me showing up at your house, giving you an experience, because this is the first time I've ever did business with you. So I'm going to give you an experience that's going to make you want to go tell somebody else. That's organic.
Yeah.
There's no filters there. You know what I mean? You're just showing up as you. You're showing up as you. You're showing up as the person who is going to put 110% into what he does. That's you planted an organic seed. Now, if you come out with some nonsense, you've also planted an organic seed, but it ain't gonna be the one that people want to eat from. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, you know, if your business doesn't take off, it doesn't. If you don't win, you should be, everybody out there. You grow your business by impressing your clients one at a time. One at a time. If you can impress one, he's going to tell 3. He's going to tell 5. He's going to tell 7. But if you don't do right by one, he's going to tell 50. You got to keep that in mind. He's going to tell more people that you didn't do right by him than he will those that you did do right by. You need to always keep that in mind. But slow growth is growth nonetheless. So you go out and, okay, he tell 2 people, they tell 4, they tell 5. Now you're busy. Now your week is booked out. My weeks are booked out. You know, I have that. But, you know, I also have such a rotating circle where it's like, you know, at some point it was just like, I can't take on everything that I got, everything that I would like to take on, because I'm not leaving room for the ones that really would make it worth my while. You know, some people I don't have to go out and work that hard for and make the same money that I would make if I went in. That's why I did a thing the other day. So sometimes you got to fire a client. You got to know where you're at in this game. You got to know where you're at in this game and know what your time is valued at, what your worth is valued at. And you got to make that call. You can't try to make everybody happy, because it's not going to happen.
Sometimes
you make room.
Because you only have 24 hours in a day and you only have 6 days in a week. So sometimes those clients that you're doing 3 or 4 days out of your week, if you're doing weekly wash, some of those are costing you money. People don't realize that either.
Yeah.
I'm wasting my time going out there when I could do 1 car that's more than 5 of these cars. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't care what car it is, because some people are like, I did 5 Lamborghinis today. I did 1 Chevy Tahoe. Like, the car does not matter. It's not
right.
You know what I mean?
Well, what I do now is, instead of me, when I fire them, I don't technically fire them. I put them onto somebody else that I trust.
Oh yeah.
I deal with a lot of detailers in the community, in the area. I make it my business to befriend as many of them as I can. And out of the ones that I befriended, I see who values their name. I follow them on Instagram. I see what they're doing. I see what their etiquettes are about. I see what their mannerism is about. And that tells me if I can trust that person enough to say, okay, you can take that job. I don't want it anymore. That's a good client. You can have it. Okay. Now, if I know it's a big hit, these guys, they'll say, well, look, I'll give you 30% of the first hit off that client. So now I made something. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I made something. He got a new client. I got 30%.
The client's happy.
And the client's happy.
Their prices maybe didn't change. They're still getting a good service. You know what I mean? Everybody's winning right there. And that's
everybody's winning.
Your reputation's not looking bad. There's no bad blood anywhere.
But that comes when you're dealing with people who honor their name.
Yes.
Who honor their business. You know what I mean? Like, people who value their name, they're not just going to trash their name. They're going to go out and do what they're supposed to do. That's why I said, you know, I'm not the best at this. I just like to connect with people. Yeah. I like to be around good people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it all. I have enough so that, you know, I can be comfortable with my life, my lifestyle, things that I like, you know. And you said there was something else that you wanted to know. I'll let you ask it, but not let you ask, but you know what I mean. You can ask it about, you know, what's missing here. I think education, as far as like financial literacy, setting yourself up for life after this. I don't think a lot of people really are setting themselves up for life after this. You know, we're getting up there in age. You know, I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 49 years old. So for me, it's like, you know, when I get up in the morning, my bones are like, yo, you're 49 years old. So I'm setting myself up to be able to do other things after this is done and over. You know,
we're already in the works. We're 39 and 38. So we're both, you know, know that there's a timeline here on what we want to do, and we already have a plan for, not only an exit strategy, but a strategy to maintain our health and to maintain our quality of life within this business or somewhere within the business.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's why I myself is just, for me right now, it's just about quality of life and my sanity. That's why I do it all by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I like to go out and work, and in the middle of the day, I might say, yo, I'm gonna go get me a massage. I can't do that if I got an employee. You understand what I'm saying? I can't do that. If I reach my quota by 12 o'clock and I want to go get a facial, I go do that. Like the things that we should be able to do. Yeah, and I think every detailer should get a facial because we putting all kinds of chemicals in our face. So, we want to take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? So
we get the massages, we get acupuncture, my acupuncturist. So I hear it all day. She's all about it. So, we
take care of yourself.
Our health is number one.
It's number one.
You're on your feet all day. You gotta get your feet done too.
Gotta get your feet done.
Realize that, man. You be out there getting your feet wet all day.
Man, listen, when that ingrown toenail hits you, man.
Oh man, yeah. That'll take some time off. You gotta take some time off right there.
Bro,
and then people don't realize the time off. If you're not taking care of your body, and because we've all been there where we run ourselves down to where your body just tells you, I'm done. And you gotta go home. You gotta take a few days off now. Instead of taking a day of rest, now you gotta take a few. Your body just ain't having it. So we need to make sure that we take care of our bodies to sustain the months or whatever it is we have ahead. And whether that is, okay, we're not going to double book this whole week because we're booked out for 3 weeks. So
right.
We're going to just do 1 car a day or 2 cars a day. None of this same day. Maybe we'll cut out the same days, this week or whatever. But we have to do that strategically to maintain the rest of the schedule. So we're not.
And let me say this. What other channel can talk about ingrown toenails and get a reaction like that from, and we understand what that's all about.
Detailing.
We understand what. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, but you're not hearing this. You're not hearing these conversations. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna do something about sciatica. I have sciatica. I didn't know what it was until I went to my doctor. He was like, "Yo, you're bent over all day long. Like, eventually that's going to catch up with you. You're pinching stuff everywhere. Acupuncture. I go get acupuncture. Guys, go get acupuncture. It's crazy. I ain't got time to do that. I don't have time to do that.
If you don't have time to do it, then you must have time to not make money. That's what's going to happen when you're going to be at home in bed dealing with this stuff later on. Because you're not working, you're not out there in the field or you're shopping. You're not making money. You are the money maker. But when you go there, that's like, you know what I mean? That's like the Pepsi machine at a restaurant going down. You're not selling any soap.
You ain't selling nothing. Yeah, you're not doing anything. It's I highly recommend the dudes when they get up and get started, guys and girls, do some meditation. Take 10 minutes to just sit somewhere quiet. Just quiet. No social media, no sounds, no nothing. Just sit for 10 minutes. Give yourself that. Because here's the thing. After that, the rest of you belongs to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Give yourself that. Sit down for a second. Breathe. Take it all in. Because one thing about this business, you don't know who you're going to run into.
Oh, you got all kinds. You want to be on point.
Yeah, you're going to run into all kinds of stuff. You're going to have to, this is one of the only businesses that we have to have 50 different personalities. Because we're dealing with 50 different types of personalities out there. So we need to be able to adjust to it. Yeah. That's another thing guys don't understand.
You got to match
you
energy.
Need to be able to, you got to match the energy. You got to match the energy. And that doesn't mean that it's going to always be perfect, but you got to match the energy in a way that you know when to get out of the room when the temperature's too hot.
Yep.
If that energy doesn't line up well with you, or you don't line up with that person's energy, you got to know when to get out of the room. You got to know how to get out of the room. You got to know how to peacefully and politely
break away from that without being rude, without being disrespectful, without intimidating anybody. This is all different aspects of detailing. People think it's just about the greasers and soap and da 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 da. No, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that part right there. I mean, that's the fundamentals. Like, I'm not here to teach anybody how to wash a car.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to wash a car, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Okay. Or if you're not trying to figure out or learn how to wash a car from somebody near you, this isn't like my channel isn't the channel to come to because I don't do that. Like, that's just not. I figure you're going to get that. You're going to get that. There's
so much out there already.
There's enough of that out there for you to get it. But my thing is about etiquettes, morals, respect, loyalty, honesty to this game. You should be the type of person. Yeah, self-help. Oh, help. Yeah, all of that, man. Like,
I think you'll be excited about the direction that our channel is going as far as that, because we're only trying to associate. Not that we're leaving anybody out, but we're trying to show different aspects of the business, but we're also trying to grow a community of detailers that are seeing things from an unorthodox way, or seeing things that are maybe more important to them value wise and morally wise or business ethic wise, opposed to just the technical part of the detailing itself.
Right. You don't want to be so mundane. You don't
Yeah.
want to be so repetitive. And, you want to always come out with a different message. But like you said, unorthodox, non-traditional, like I said, we're talking about, ingrowing toenails and sciatica, skincare, meditation, just these are different things. These things are vital.
Yeah.
These are vital things.
They're
And whatever direction you guys go in, I'm gonna be a supporter. I'm here with you guys, you know what I mean? And in any way that I can help, I'm all in, you know what I mean? Whatever you guys are gonna do. Hopefully I get to meet up with y'all at SEMA or something like that. Y'all go to SEMA?
We haven't been yet. We're probably, or the other one, the mobile tech.
Yeah.
Mobile
tech. I did mobile tech in Orlando. That's another thing. You want to, I highly suggest to guys and girls, if you can get to these conventions and these gatherings, the community is big. Yeah. Take a day or two, a weekend, and go. Yeah. I live in Vegas and Philadelphia. A lot of people don't know that. So I do my thing out in Vegas as well. And, I go to SEMA every year. I love it. The camaraderie is sweet. You know what I mean? You get to meet a lot of people. MTE down in Orlando, I went for the first year this year. It was amazing. And you just don't know how many people, like you guys don't know how many people you are inspiring, how much impact you're having on people's lives, even if they don't tell you. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even if they don't tell you, just know that you do, because, some people just ain't going to be able to do that. Some people just can't get out of their own way to thank people for helping them find a way.
Yeah.
You follow what I said to you?
Oh, yeah.
Some people can't get out of their own way
to
find a way to thank you for helping them.
That's another part that Sal's always bringing up is the ego will kill your business. And
it will.
So many different ways that people just don't get. You're being hard-headed. You don't want to change your ways, or you just, there's just certain things that you, like you said, you're blocking yourself from progressing to get into that next step, right? When you become
right.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you become unteachable, you're pretty much done.
Forget about it. Like I said, every day I go out, I'm not just going out to earn. I'm going out to learn. So I'm learning and earning. I'm earning and learning every day. I got to come back in. For me, it's like, I got to come back in with more money than I left out with, but I want to also come back in with more education, because education is going to put me in position to grow. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to find a way to work smarter, not harder. I'm at that point in my life right now where again, I'm anti-employee. I'm pro-self, but it's all because I found my niche and I found what works for me. You understand what I'm saying? So,
there's a sweet spot for everybody, and
there's a sweet spot for everybody, right?
If you get out of that sweet spot, things change, things get harder, things could be less productive. Your income could change drastically. You can swing one way, but you find that sweet spot that works for you, where you're not overexhausted. You're happy with your income. Your work-life balance is on point. Your things are going the way that they need to be, and you stay in that sweet spot. You strive, but you could still produce more. You could increase that sweet spot, but as soon as you start getting out of it, you got to find your way back. And I think a lot of people get far away from it, and then they end up going back small again. And then it's like, okay, that's my sweet spot. I should have just been there from the get-go.
Right. And even like you said, sometimes you grow out of it. Like even with my sweet spot, I found like some days I do go harder than I'm used to going. And that's just me challenging me. Yeah. To let me know that I'm still on top. You know what I mean? Like I still got it.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time. It's like, yo, let me see what I still got.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's days when I'll push myself, because I'm not a lazy person. But if I don't have to bust my knuckles and hurt myself out there anymore like I used to.
You don't know how many that's an attitude of somebody. People have, like, if you're not actually working hard, you're not working, and just like that's so far from the truth.
That's crazy.
Less and get more. Why not? Why wouldn't anybody?
Bro, when I hear guys, and here's the thing, I used to be that guy. Yeah. I used to be that guy that was out here talking about, I just put 18 hours in. What?
You ain't gonna find me saying that.
You're crazy. You lost your mind. What is wrong with you? Who told you that was right? Yeah. Like, no, that's not the way this
that
goes.
Doesn't make you a better businessman.
That's unhealthy. That's unhealthy. That's what that is.
Right. For me, it's like, man, I don't want to work 18 hours a day, man. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Pleasant. Yeah. No.
Yeah. But you're always working, right? You're always, but not. I don't be working like that.
All the time we spend when we're not working and we're doing other work stuff, it's to figure out a way how to make that work that we just finished easier. That's what our after work stuff is. We're not all the time that we put every extra minute we have of our days And it might be an hour, it might be a half hour, it might be, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. It might be only 10 minutes to do things that are going to improve on us whenever we can. We just rearranged the van the other day, just small little things here and there, because it's been a while. We're like, you know what? I'm sure there's some things we could tighten up to make things a little bit smoother. It's getting a little sloppy, we got some here and there. Man, we did like 3 or 4 things. It took us an hour. Man, it's saving us like 10 minutes on every detail. So it's like, hey, small things like that, but it's constant. It never stops for us,
Right. And it feels good to do some rearranging and, get the step back from your rig and look into it and, you do your thing with it. Like,
it's exciting. You know what I mean? Because it's like you just, you're doing something that's going to improve on your business. Right.
I don't know if you guys see the vehicle that I detail out of it.
Oh
yeah. Real little car.
Oh yeah.
So that was actually a challenge to myself, man, to see if I could do more with it.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time. Yeah, we look at cars all the time. I'm like, I'll rip all the guts out of that one. I'll turn that one out.
I think, Joe, you said you had a car. You started out in a car. Right?
Oh yeah, I started out with my little Subaru Baja.
Right.
Tiny little thing I had.
Right.
But I was busting them out. I was doing the same work I'm doing now out of that thing.
And you grew out of it. You grew out of it because you have a partner, so that makes sense. But if I still had my partner with me, my brother, if he was still here, I probably would still be in a van. But I'm lying. I wouldn't. I would be making multiple. I made a few of these for a couple people.
Yeah.
And I've sold a couple and a couple guys in the neighborhood. They have them. They like them. They're like, oh my God, I want one. They're really for like one man warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like myself. You know what I mean? But they're strong. They're efficient. They're head turners, which is what we all strive to be. We all strive to be.
They're just smart for where you guys are. It doesn't. Right. One of the reasons I use my little Baja, because when I first started, I was going to get a full size truck. I was like, I think I need a size truck to load. Man, you try loading stuff into a full size truck and unloading, ain't no fun. This little guy
ain't easy.
Around, I'm doing cars in San Francisco, Berkeley. If you've ever been to San Francisco, man, you're on hills, you're tight. It's not but it's pretty close as far as trying to find space and there's no you're going to be working out there with a full size vehicle. It just doesn't make sense.
So the car made more sense for you.
Oh yeah, made a ton of sense for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So so it's one of those things. It was like I said with the car, that was just a challenge for me to see if I could do more with less, and I did. And a lot of people out there can actually do more with less. They just have to challenge themselves. You know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What do you need to get the job done? Step back, take inventory, see what you got. There are people running around with things they don't even need.
There's running around. There's people running around with gallons.
Like Sal shook his head, like, oh my God, that's a whole other story.
No, you see some of these rigs, and they got like 10 gallons full of stuff. I'm like, what kind of fleets are you doing? Like,
for what?
We did 7 cars the other day. We did 7 cars the other day.
The most. It's a lot for us.
And we don't pints. We don't run with the 32 ounce with pints, and we didn't run out of anything.
Right.
I think the degreaser we're running out low, but the degreaser is
because you use more degreeser than anything. That's a high value product.
Oh
so
yeah.
You need to have more degreaser than you do soap.
And degreasers,
you're not wasting your soap.
And degreasers are dilutable. So if you have a 16 ounce bottle of degreaser, that thing could stretch how long? 264 gallons out of that.
Right. See what I said? It's a numbers game. When you know your numbers like that, you pay attention. A lot of these guys don't even know their numbers. Like ask them, how many cars can you get off of 16 ounces of degreaser? They don't know. They need to know a roundabout because now you need to know how much is it costing you in degreaser. And people say that's a little too technical. No,
that's not. That doesn't ever get
every money. That's our money.
Man, math is beautiful.
Man. Math is beautiful, man. When you do it right, you know what I'm saying? So I hope my phone don't hang up because I'm adjusting this in my ear. All right, we're good. Money saved is money earned. And like you said, Sal, earlier, the work begins after the employees leave. If you're not willing to put that work in, then you're going to be robbed. They're going to rob you. That's going to put you out of business.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to put you out of business. You're not going to steal from yourself. But if you're not willing to sit down and do the numbers, guess what you're doing? You're stealing from yourself. You're allowing it to happen because you're not doing anything to prevent it. If you don't have the information that you need to make it right, then you're not, it's not going to happen. So, that's my take on it. What's up, brother?
Hey, we could talk this all day, man. Can we? Man, how long we been? This has been a long time. Man.
Time flies when you're having fun, man.
We're going to do this again. We're going to do this again. We're definitely going to do this again because there's some things. We're going to get some responses for some people.
Good, bad, I don't care. But it's good.
We're
gonna take those responses and we're gonna see where they want us to kind of elaborate more on, and we'll break one down just for them, and we'll get on it.
And I want to do one with you guys on my joint as well.
For sure, man.
For sure, whenever,
we definitely got to do that, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting everything set up now so I can actually have like a real podcast. you know,
Oh,
a
gotcha.
real sit down and you know, we're gonna split the screen up and it'll just be us and we'll be busting it up and it'll be, you know, I want a live situation.
Yeah.
And let's just do this, man. Like I'm here for it, bro. Like,
Hey, Derek, give everybody your info, man. We'll link it down on the bottom. Where can we catch you?
Well, yeah, we're gonna
you can catch me on YouTube at the Dopest Detailer, THEDOPEST Detailer, DETAILER. Same handle on Instagram, the Dopest Detailer. Go on to
Make
Dopest
sure we'll
Detailer
all
on
down
Instagram.
the bottom, man.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, find me on the tube. If there's any information that I can give to help somebody, I'm here for it, man. And I can't thank you guys enough for allowing me to be a part of this conversation. I'm all for it, bro.
No, you're just a part of it. You're just one part of this community we're trying to grow to get people on track to succeed in this. You know,
count me in, man. However I can
help.
support y'all. If y'all come, I need a detail shirt too. I don't know how I can get one, but
so
send my information. I need one of those. That thing. Look, it just says detailing. It says details, but it's synonymous to you. If I ever see that anywhere, I'm gonna know that that's you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
if you see it anywhere where they ain't supposed to be repping, you let us know.
Oh yeah,
you already know.
It's trademark. I had a few already trying to get slick with it.
That's you. That is you all day long, man.
Oh, yeah.
So you know, even that, like you, that was clever the way you just took something so simple and made it your own. And now it's one of those things where you see it and it's like, oh, if it says details and it ain't got the lines to it, it ain't no. But if
it looks generic, huh? Like, oh, that's
right.
Sweet, but that ain't the real. Yeah.
Right. See how you kept it simple. You didn't complicate nothing. Kept it simple. So you know that's the name of the game, man. But yeah, let's do this again, Sal and Joel. It's a pleasure.
Thanks, man. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And this is the first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You take care, Derek.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, Derek.
All right, peace.
Hey, Derek, hold on.
Yo.
All right.